never see a 1-2 punch like that ever again in the history of the game.
This is SportsCenter.
Aloha! June Jones. SMU stampedes Nevada's Wolfpack. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll still awaiting word on Joe McKnight. The saga of Stafon Johnson ends on a positive note still. He won't forget that panicked race against time.
In the back of my mind, it's like, man, this could probably be it.
From the NFL, what the Cowboys exposed about the Saints, in which AFC pretenders will make the playoffs. And talk about great gifts, we go all access with the Lakers, plus LeBron's top plays. SportsCenter, right up.
Oh, my.
Yes.
My goodness.
Happy holidays to you. Thanks for spending some time with us, and welcome to SportsCenter from Los Angeles. Along with Neil Everett, I'm Stan Verrett. Just like us, Nevada and SMU were focused on business before the holiday, and just like us, they're prominently featured on television.
Unlike us, they're in Hawaii, 78, give or take a degree at kickoff. It's the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl.
We had 70 in L.A.
Did we? It felt like a chilly 70. There he is, June Jones, SMU. First bowl appearance in 25 years. They're 1-11 in his first season. He said he'd turn around. He did. Did the same thing at Hawaii. 9 seasons there. Came after the team had a winless season in 98, made a bowl game in 99, went 51-19 at Aloha Stadium, not counting the bowl games, went to the Sugar Bowl, got run by Georgia, but that's another story. He's got a true freshman at quarterback. Kid's name's Kyle Padron, and Kyle Padron has got the run and shoot down. Of course, June learned the run and shoot from Mouse Davis when he played at Portland State long ago. First time they had the ball, Padron to Cole Beasley, 71 yards. And that's a 1st and goal for the Mustangs. Now check out Aldrick Robinson. Look at, oh my man! Well, his man ends up making the tackle. Next play, Padron to Sean Bray McNeil, right side, and 3 plays into it, SMU's up 7-0. Now, Nevada went for it on 4th down on its possession. SMU stopped him. The first play after that, Padron, who's channeling his inner Colt Brennan, goes to Emmanuel Sanders, 58 yards, and that sets up a 1st and goal at the 3. He had a face mask penalty. They're now on the 1, and there goes McNeil again. He's got reservations for 6, and we're less than 7 minutes in, and it's 14-0. Let's go second quarter. It's 17-0. Padron going to avoid the rush right there. He goes shovel pass. That's a staple of that June Jones offense. 15-yard gain by McNeil, and 2 plays later, Padron. Sanders on the flat route. This offense, you throw it to where the receiver's supposed to be before he's there. Then he catches it. Nevada's defense, 2nd worst pass defense in the nation. It's showing that, 24-0. Padron. Kid's going to scramble right before half, so he's getting it done with his arm and his feet. And then on a 2nd and goal, how about Cole Beasley? He can walk in a tightrope right there. Padron hits him. Take another look. They took another look on the field and squeezes the ball and gets those feet down. Play stands. Padron, 303 yards, 20 of 26, and 2 touchdowns in the first half. It was 31-0 at the half. It ended up 45-10. The power of Poi working for June Jones. Well, SMU, June Jones, has got them heading in the right direction. They went 1-11, as I mentioned. Now they finished this season 8-5. They are the most improved team in the FBS, or the artist formerly known as Division I. Did the same thing in 99 with Hawaii. They went 9-4, won the Aloha Bowl after going 0 in 1998. Well, Pete Carroll's got Joe McKnight right where he wants him. Now, hopefully, he's got him back in the lineup. The Trojans' leading rusher still waiting to be cleared by the school after eligibility issues were raised earlier this week over his use of an automobile, but he is up with the team in San Francisco. Here's what Coach had to say. Joe did everything he needed to do compliance-wise in L.A., so it was the right thing to get him up here right away. Compliance hasn't made a final ruling, but this is a most favorable sign. Joe McKnight, a most favorable running back. If you're a Trojan fan, he has more attempts, rush yards, rushing touchdowns than in any of his other 2 seasons, and his 8 touchdowns are tied for 2nd most on the team. Team's first 1,000-yard rusher since 05. Then again, the Trojans do go back by committee quite often.
Once upon a time, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal facing off would have been the storyline for the NBA's Christmas Day showcase. No offense to the big witness protector, but he doesn't have a puppet now. Bryant and LeBron James do. They also have the most votes for this season's All-Star game. So when LeBron's Cavaliers and Kobe's Lakers get together on Friday, there's no hype necessary. It's the two faces of the NBA facing off against each other. And here's how LeBron and Kobe stack up this season. LeBron averages more rebounds and assists per game, but Kobe is king when it comes to points per game and 40-point games. Kobe and LeBron second and third in the league in scoring, both of them behind Carmelo Anthony, who leads the NBA. Head-to-head between the two, LeBron and Kobe have met 11 times on the court. LeBron leads in wins 6-5. You see the numbers, LeBron with the overall statistical edge as well. Here's hoping someday they'll meet in the NBA Finals. For now, though, it's Cavaliers and Lakers on Christmas Day. Kobe, again, not just facing LeBron, but also his old running mate, Shaquille O'Neal. My, how things have changed.
It's tough to say you do anything different, on the court. I mean, because we've milked the cow. Then outside of that, once we both went our separate ways, I do everything the same. Because the challenge, even when he was here, and things that he said himself was that, part of the motivation of, Kobe can't win without me. So it was, okay, well, let's see. Let's see. So from that standpoint, it was a challenge that I accepted. And so we went our separate ways, and the rest is history.
You will never see a 1-2 punch like that ever again in the history of the game. So, but if you look at what had to be done, and it's all about winning, that's what we did. We won 3 out of 4. So when I say you'll never see a 1-2 punch like that again, I mean that. It'll never happen like that again. With the on-court issues and the off-the-court issues, and we're still able to win 75% of the time. So I'm part of that history too.
Maybe it's Christmas, but I'm feeling the love between Kobe and Shaq. Bryant has played on Christmas Day every year since 1999. Shaq and Kobe played as teammates 5 times on Christmas Day. On Friday, they'll meet as opponents for the 3rd time on Christmas. In case you're wondering, Shaq won the other 2 Christmas Day matchups. It's Cavaliers-Lakers. You can't miss that. 5 Eastern, Christmas Day on ABC.
You're no doubt familiar with the running of the bulls, part of a festival in Spain. It's held July 6th to July 14th. Each year, people run in front of a pack of angry bulls. There's also the little less known running of the bulls coaches. It's been held on Christmas Eve in 2001 and 2007 in Chicago. Tim Floyd fired 8 years ago Thursday. Scott Skiles run 2 years ago on the night before Christmas. All Vinny Del Negro wants for Christmas is to not get gored. Del Negro in his 2nd season in Chicago, and it's not going nearly as well as his 1st season when he led the Bulls to the playoffs. Biggest blemish on a 10-17 season, that loss to Sacramento earlier this week when Chicago squandered a 35-point 3rd quarter lead. And here's some reasons statistically why the Bulls are so bad. They average just over 90 points per game. That's 29th in the league. They shoot just over 42% from the field. That's 29th in the league. And on top of that, they have more turnovers than they create, which is bad.
You think so, Doctor? More NBA on tap, including LeBron's top plays so far. There will be more. Plus, we go behind the scenes with the Lakers at practice and in the locker room. And did last Saturday's loss to the Cowboys expose any weakness for the Saints? And how long should Jim Caldwell play his starters against the Jets? We're just getting started. It's SportsCenter.
It's been said that a man's home is his castle, and truer words were never spoken when that home is in the hands of this father and son team. Bringing together their different ideas of suburban architecture, these visionaries gave shape to imagination. True, some elements may be slightly irregular. Just look at that windmill thingy. But still, well done, gentlemen. Well done indeed.
Two decades of craftsmanship, luxury, and exhilaration. Felt in an instant. Celebrate our 20th anniversary at the Infinity Limited Engagement Winter Event by January 4th and take advantage of our best offers of the year. Brighten the season with the G Sedan for $349 a month or 0% APR on select models.
critics and audiences agree. Invictus is great entertainment. And now it's been nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards. Best Actor Morgan Freeman, Best Supporting Actor Matt Damon, and Best Director Clint Eastwood.
This is our destiny!
Invictus, rated PG-13.
I'm here with Troy Polamalu. Tell us about the goal line stand.
Well, I owe my great hair to Head & Shoulders. It's for more than just dandruff.
That's not what I asked, Troy.
Isn't it?
No.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Head & Shoulders, 7 benefits, 1 bottle.
SportsCenter, brought to you by the most valuable puppets. See them at NikeBasketball.com. And Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
What to watch Friday? This AFC matchup, Chargers-Titans. San Diego's winners of 9 straight. They're in Tennessee. Tennessee's got Chris Johnson, 9 straight games of 100 or more yards. Doesn't look like he's going to catch Dickerson. How about the Titans, though? They start 0-6, and they're still in the playoff hunt.
More than winning them all, the Colts would just like to have them all, as in all of their key players for the playoffs. Dwight Freeney is their most important defender, and he returned to practice on Thursday, though he was limited by an abdominal injury. Peyton Manning also got a mention on the injury report, too, because of a sore glute, but he's okay. In fact, he's been such a pain in the butt for opposing defenders that he's a runaway choice in an informal poll of MVP voters conducted by the Indianapolis Star. They want to know now. But how much will he play Sunday against the Jets? Rachel Nichols searching for that answer.
The Colts are clear about one thing. Healthy starters will start this week against the Jets. How long they'll stay in the game? Well, that seems to depend on who you ask.
Coach Caldwell's instructions were the same as they have been each week. This is what we need to do to win the game. Please go out and do them.
So if it's tight at the end, do you see yourself playing the whole game?
Oh, I would certainly imagine so. I mean, like I haven't, Coach Caldwell, I mean, he is, as soon as he says something different in that meeting, I'm telling you, y'all will be the first to know.
I did say that the healthy ones would play, in the ball game, but certainly in terms of periods of times and things of that nature, I would not make that kind of declaration at this point.
Last week, certain players only went into the game on key downs. Players said they could see even more of that this week, particularly on the defensive side of the ball.
Defense side of the ball, you really don't need nothing to get rhythm. I mean, we just running and hitting. So our defense is a truly, we just need to be healthy type situation. Offense may be a little bit different.
I think timing for them would be more important. I guess, receivers, whatever, quarterback, I don't know. But defensively, definitely, health is most important. I think it's different from position to position, even guy to guy.
The Colts said again this week that an undefeated season just isn't that important to them. And apparently, it's not just a public line. I spoke to Peyton's father, Archie Manning, and he said that up until last weekend, he'd had conversations with several members of the Saints organization about the lore of a perfect season, but that he hasn't had that conversation even once with his own son. In Indianapolis, I'm Rachel Nichols, ESPN.
Manning also chasing a milestone. He's just 159 yards shy of becoming only the 4th player to throw for 50,000 yards in his career. Brett Favre leads the pack, followed by Hall of Famers Dan Marino and John Elway. More NFL now with Trey Wingo.
Trey Wingo and Mark Schlereth here with the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, a 6-pack of NFL questions. Mark, let's start with the Indianapolis Colts. How much should Peyton Manning and company play as they try to go to 15-0 against the Jets, and the Jets are trying to get into the postseason?
I think you play to win this game. I think you play the entire game.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you look at that. Yeah, you play to win the game. I look at the Indianapolis Colts right now. Rhythm is one thing. Timing is another thing that you want on your side, especially when you're an offensive-driven football team, and you don't get that by sitting on the sidelines. Hey, play your guys if they're healthy.
Peyton Manning, by the way, 159 yards shy of becoming the 4th quarterback in NFL history to throw for 50,000 yards. All right, the Saints are coming off something unusual, a loss. Did the loss to the Cowboys expose any weaknesses for the Saints, in your opinion?
Absolutely. And their weakness is protection. Listen, if you can't protect your quarterback in this league, bad things are going to happen. And they couldn't protect Drew Brees. What happens when you don't have protection is that 3rd option, that 4th option, even that 5th option, where Drew Brees usually cuts up the opponent's defense. That's what he wasn't able to get to. You can't throw the ball in complete passes when you're on your back.
Yeah, both Anthony Spencer and DeMarcus Ware with big sacks in that Saturday night win for the Cowboys. Okay, the whole Brett Favre, Brad Childress, heated discussion, stream of consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Will it have any impact on the field this week for the Vikings in Chicago?
Yes, it will. And the impact it'll have, Adrian Peterson will be more involved in this game, and that's a good thing. I think both of those guys are going to talk to each other as they have. They look at each other and say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is the guy we need to run hard to make sure we give ourselves the best chance at a championship, and that's what this is really all about.
And we'll find out how that plays out. The final Monday night game of the regular season will be the Minnesota Vikings at Chicago on ESPN. Back with more of the Cold Hard Facts in a minute.
And they're going to tell you what Vince Young and the Titans have to do to upset Phillip Rivers and the streaking Chargers on Christmas night. And will the Eagles effectively end the Broncos season on Sunday? Trey and Mark with the cold, hard answers coming up.
We told you earlier in this show about Joe McKnight rejoining the USC football team. He hopes to be able to play in their bowl game against Boston College Saturday. Stafon Johnson hopes he's able to play again professionally. But right now, he's just thankful he can cheer aloud for the Trojans. That after a weightlifting accident almost killed him earlier this season. For the first time since dropping a bar on his neck and crushing his voice box, Johnson speaks publicly to our Shelley Smith in this Outside the Line.
Panic had set in around me. I felt it in the weight room. I felt it in the ambulance ride. I felt it in the emergency room, and I definitely felt it in my heart. So I just closed my eyes and started to pray. My mama had sacrificed so much for me, going through this to the end. My son wasn't going to be without a father. No way, no how. It won't happen. Just a regular day, you know, regular day at the job, at the workhouse, regular day in the lab. Regular day on the bench, regular weight. Next thing I know, I'm gasping for air.
Mid-morning, September 28th, Stafon Johnson, with a spotter, was bench pressing 275 pounds in the USC weight room when the bar slipped from his hands and fell on his throat.
How does that happen when you have a spotter?
This guy's been lifting for years and years. You know, you stand back and let the guy do his work. There was nothing uncommon about it at all. It was just a real fluke deal.
I was in my office and someone came in and told me that he had had an accident, and I ran down to the weight room and he was sitting up and he did like this. And with that there, that told me to call his mom.
He said he got hurt in the weight room and they're going to take him to California Hospital.
Coincidentally, Johnson's mother, Kim Mallory, was at a service call for her job as a sales rep at the same hospital they were taking her son.
I could hear the ambulance coming. He pulled up. I told the paramedics, I said, I'm his mom. I got ready to open up the door. They took him into the emergency room, and I told them, I said, he's trying to write something. And he wrote in there, he said, it's hard for me to breathe.
I just vaguely remember, you know, just sitting on the operating table and trying to figure out where that next breath is going to come from. In the back of my mind, it's like, man, this could probably be it.
This was probably the worst laryngeal injury we've ever seen. Absolutely. I mean, the crush force here literally crushed the walls of the voice box completely. It stripped the entire lining of his larynx, and it tore both his vocal cords.
This type of injury is so traumatic, it is often fatal. The doctors spent 7.5 hours rebuilding Johnson's throat and vocal cords.
We're basically in a race against time. The more time went by, the more things got swollen, and the more fragile they became. And it was basically like putting together wet tissue paper. We had one chance to put each puzzle piece in its position, and if we got it wrong, that was it.
I woke up in some strange place. I had a tracheostomy tube, and now I was breathing through my neck. My life was saved.
It's very emotional. Very emotional. Tubes and breathing machine and things that it was just hard for me to look at them. Matter of fact, I ran out of the room.
I woke up to my best friend. I asked him how many weeks I'm gonna be out. He just put his head down, shook his head. And from that point, I kind of knew, it's not good. I just kind of broke down at that point.
What we told him was, you had a major injury. Do not move. Do not swallow. Do not cough. If you don't follow directions, you may never get these tubes out.
Johnson followed doctor's orders. 3 weeks from the accident, he went home from the hospital, and eventually the tubes were removed. Soon after, he heard his whisper for the first time.
He said hello, and we all jumped up and down.
I was so happy when I did it. I'm like, man, let's do something. I want to say hi to other people.
Another procedure could have made his voice stronger, but Johnson instead elected to have surgery to widen his windpipe to give him more breathing capacity so that he could start working out again. A month and a half after being released from the hospital, Johnson was back in the gym. His goal is to play football again. That meant facing the bench press.
I was so nervous and so I didn't know what to do. That it felt as if it was so much weight, but it wasn't at all. As time progressed, it got easier and easier.
Before the injury, Johnson was scheduled to play in the January 30th Senior Bowl. Doctors have cleared him to play. He says he'll be ready.
No fears. Just knowing that if you have faith, you can do all things in Christ that strengthens you, no matter what. They said that my drive and determination allowed me to speak when others would have been speechless. They said that my mind allowed me to rise above and succeed where others would have given up. I was going to make it. That's what I thought. There was no doubt. I had something to prove.
Doctors say that down the road, Johnson could have a procedure to strengthen his voice, but for now, the whisper is what he has. As for taking that voice, or lack thereof, to the NFL, Johnson says his whisper won't be a problem because, as he says, quote, I'm not the quarterback.
Wow, what a story. Unreal. Hey, more college football coming up. How's top-ranked Alabama dealing with the pressure of being the favorite? Nick Saban trying to make his own team feel paranoid. And how would you like an all-access look at the NBA's defending champs? Well, have you been naughty or nice? Plus this.
Join Boomer and the gang for Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
1, 2, 1, 2. King James and Kobe too. Yeah, it was the day before Christmas Day. I just put brand new rims on my sleigh. In the kitchen, cooking eggs and hash. I got a call from Blitzen, talking some trash, saying,
oh, say Nikki, don't you see? You and your boys, you'll never beat me. So you can tell Kobe and tell LeBron that they can meet me on the court. It'll be
Now Blitz Ice grilling like, put him up. It ain't take long for Kobe to shut him up.
All right, Blitz, the game is to 10. LeBron, check it out. Show him how we get it in.
Now he all nervous, tension brewing. Vixen was trying to talk some sense into him. LeBron threw the ball and began to giggle like,
look at this reindeer. He can barely dribble. Come on, Bron, show some respect. He got hooves, not hands. What the heck you expect?
Kobe stole the ball, crossed him up. Went around his back, tossed it up.
Yeah.
Vixen crying the Blitz like,
oh no, LeBron took one from behind the free throw.
LeBron rose up, looked at him again, said,
Merry Christmas, Blitz!
And shattered the rim. The game is over, the game is over. What am I? The game is over, the game is over. Hey, hey! Dunking on that reindeer, dunking on that reindeer, dunking on that reindeer. The game is over, the game is over. What am I? The game is over, the game is over. Hey, hey!
Merry Christmas to all the Black Mambas. Shout out to Akron, Ohio, everybody in Akron. Merry Christmas, kids. And just so you know, no reindeer were harmed during the making of this video. But they were dunked on. Yeah, in the words of a reindeer,
and we out.
The war tore a hole in the sky. Only a few survived. Our only hope is in my hands. Someone killed to have it.
This is your last chance. Give it up or I swear I'll bury you.
I will kill to protect it.
book. It's a weapon! Nobody touches it but me, you understand me?
The Book of Eli. Rated R. Starts January 15th.
Hi, I'm Monica Abbott. The road to success is never easy, and no one gets there on talent alone. Introducing the K Factor, a unique system designed to help pitchers take their game to a whole new level. By combining a resistance system with basic pitching drills, the K Factor focuses on the importance of proper mechanics. Pitchers at all levels will learn to increase arm speed, maximize the length of the arm circle, and strengthen the wrist for better snap. Use the K Factor as part of your daily workout or during your pregame warm-up. You'll develop healthy muscle memory, build strength and endurance, add overall velocity to pitches, and achieve consistency on the mound. There has never been a tool more valuable for your performance. Order the K Factor now and start reaching your maximum potential.
This SportsCenter telecast is brought to you in high definition by Vizio.
Hey, you never know what you might find on SportsCenter.com. Friends, right now, we're helping Santa to decide who's been naughty and who's been nice in sports this year. You can feel free to leave your comments on that at SportsCenter.com. Chris Berman's in the holiday spirit, too, with a 2-minute drill.
With apologies to Clement Clark Moore, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that the Swami soon would be there. Hey, tough getting down all those chimneys, although I must say, a little easier these days than in recent Yule seasons past. And in the spirit of Christmas, we're going to go glass of eggnog half full before half empty, because there's no other way to handicap the AFC wildcard hunt with more 7-7 teams than there are gifts in Santa's sleigh. The Titans have fought their way back to 500 for Old St. Jeff, which speaks to the way they approach football, hard-nosed. 0-6 and crushed in the snow, 7-1 since. Now dashing through the snow with Chris Johnson, who could be just a 6 ever to rush for 2,000 yards. He needs 270 against the Chargers and at the Seahawks. The Dolphins have also been heavyweight fighters that got up off the mat. They started 0-3, but they're still hanging in. They hope 2 home-cooked holiday meals against Houston and Pittsburgh is the trick, hoping that they can regain last year's plus 17 turnover form rather than this year's -7. Houston comes into South Florida revved up. Matt Schaub, Andre Johnson, a beast to defend. We all know the Texans bah humbug. They've never finished 9-7. Is this the year? Jacksonville did everything but beat the Colts, and they've had a wonderful youthful makeover season. Their best players, what do they all have hyphens? That's the yeah. But the but is they finish on the road at New England, at Cleveland. The Jets, #1 in points allowed, overall D, pass D in rushing offense. But they're at the Colts. Last time we checked, Indy hasn't lost yet. New York hosts the Meadowlands finale, Week 17 against Cincinnati. Oh yeah, then there's the defending champs. When the chips are down, even when they put them there, they come through at the very end. We can say it must be in Big Ben's DNA. What's left to avoid going from the Lombardi Trophy to the postseason couch? Slugfest at home to Baltimore and at Miami. Every one of those teams is hoping the Steelers knock Baltimore down to 8-7 and that Philly knocks Denver down to 8-7 Sunday as well. Then, Week 17 in the AFC will be like shouting, "Mom!" in a toy store. Speaking of the Broncos and the Eagles, here's proof that you can go home for Christmas. Brian Dawkins, for so long the heart and soul of the Eagles defense, for so long a pillar in the clubhouse, a hero in the city. After 13 years and more games than anyone in green, comes back as a visitor for the first time. And his play and his leadership have been inspiring for Denver, as expected. I'll never forget sitting with Doc in the midst of last season's Eagles playoff run.
As long as the passion is where it is right now for this game, that I can go out and run myself full speed into a 260-pound individual and not think about it twice before I do it, I'm going to continue to do it. If I can leave this game, and when that time comes, which is not now, and people say that this cat gave everything that he had and he played with an unbelievable energy for his teammates, I would love that.
And before we get lost on all this perceived quarterback-coach stuff in Minnesota, can we be real for a moment? It's a long season. Brett Favre wants to play and win, so does Brad Childress. That's why Favre became a Viking, because he thought they and he could win a Super Bowl, which they can. Sure, we're hearing the I told you so's. He's 40. He won't make it. He shouldn't have come back. Are you kidding? Isn't his playing football one of the greatest gifts a fan could have received this season? Where else will we see game-winning throws like this? Downfield blocks by the quarterback like this. Passes to himself like this. Passes to opposing coaches like this. Lasers all over the lot. Running all over the yard. Still having a blast. I remember some of my swamis of Christmas past sitting with number 4.
I hope I've given people a ton of joy, as much as it has been for me to play. I hope people say, man, hey, I don't necessarily like Brett, but I like watching him play. Man, that's flattering.
He's still great at his craft, and he still acts like a kid at Christmas when he's at work. Isn't that what we all aspire to do anyway? As for the Schwam, we aspire for a little better holiday sailing than the last time out of the water. A 5-1 week followed up by an 0 for sorry. Not exactly chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Ah, humbug! Come on, man!
Okay. You know, if there's anyone we should pull for this holiday season, it's got to be the Bengals. With all they've been through, Chris Henry's funeral this week, they still have a chance to clinch just their second playoff berth in 19 seasons. Here it is at home, 31-13 over the Chiefs.
And what about the Saints?
So the Saints won't be undefeated. How about the number 1 seed in the NFC? That ought to be good enough. 34-14 at home over the Bucs.
They're the best. They're the best. Absolutely the best. What do you guys think? They're the best? Right. All right.
Big faves are not my usual MO, so maybe this is a Christmas trap. But the Bolts are getting points. Hello, 24-23 at the Titans.
Go Chargers, go.
Can Baltimore ever beat the Steelers with Big Ben? Maybe. This is it. 21-20 Ravens. The new boss shows up, and the Redskins show Bruce Allen that? Maybe they'll have a second chance to make a first impression home against Dallas. For their sake, let's hope so. Cowboys to win in a toughie, 23-20. However it comes out, I did hear the Schwam exclaim, ere we drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
2-minute drill, brought to you by Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed for the great Pilsner taste. Taste greatness.
Aloha Sheridan Hawaii Bowl. June Jones back at Aloha Stadium. SMU coaching them up. SMU's last bowl game, they beat Notre Dame at Aloha Stadium 25 years ago in what they called the Aloha Bowl. Call that a true freshman. Kyle Padron to Cole Beasley. This is the first possession for SMU. And the very next play, Sean Bray McNeil. He's got reservations for 6, and just like that, about a minute and a half into it, SMU's up 7. Next possession, after the SMU defense had a big 4th down stop, bartender, give me a Padron. To Emmanuel Sanders, 58 yards. That set up a 1st and goal and lead to another touchdown by McNeil. It's 14-0. Second quarter, it's 7-0. Padron, 303 yards passing in the first half. Finished with 460 passing yards. Terry Gannon, David Norrie, aloha.
That's a scene we haven't witnessed in a quarter of a century. SMU celebrating a bowl win. They haven't been to a bowl in 25 years. June Jones taking the hardware back to Dallas. Terry Gannon, David Norrie with you, and it was impressive from the opening kick. I mean, the offense jumping right on Nevada from the first drive. They score 2 quick touchdowns. It's 14-0 before you can even blink, and then the defense coming up big against the Wolfpack as well.
No, the defense for SMU was unbelievable. This was a rushing offense that was leading the country, 362 yards a game. They held the Wolfpack to 225 yards under their average. And then the true freshman quarterback, Kyle Padron, 32 for 41 for 460 yards. It was the 2 early deep balls that loosened up this defense. It got Nevada.